Hello, BitMonger family. Monger coming at you from beautiful Thailand in this little bungalow that I rented. And just so you guys know, a lot of people out there say Thailand's expensive now. I gotta say, I don't know where these people, they don't seem to know where to look or how to shop, because I found this place not far from my house. It's a nice little bungalow, monthly, no long-term contract. It's got a nice bathroom. No swimming pool though, but not that far from the beach. Very quiet, very comfortable. 5,000 baht a month. That's $150, guys. So, a lot of, when you listen to guys and some people say, oh, Thailand's so expensive now. Well, yeah, I mean, Thailand can be expensive, but, if you know how to shop around and you know where to look, you can get some great deals. So, take everything with a grain of salt. Anyways, let's take a look at Bitcoin. We can see, and I told you guys the other day I had canceled that order, and I put my order down really low, but I also had noted that the Liberation Day pump at around 74,670, I think is the number, 74,700, call it, was an area of interest, and I did put a long on it there, and I'm nicely in profit. So now I do expect that the markets will turn. I do expect more shit to happen. I don't think that we're out of the woods yet, but when you see an opportunity, you take it, guys. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the markets. We're going to look at Bitcoin. We're going to look at gold. And we'll look at a trade that I made today as well. All right, so we can see currently the futures are looking like they're going to open negative. It's not as bad as it was before. You can see Asia was a bloodbath today, absolute bloodbath. It got hit. India wasn't that bad, but the rest of Asia was pretty nasty, pretty big slaughterhouse. Europe, however, was slightly up. They're in their own bubble. It's going up, and currently, like I said, here we have the futures, and it's looking slightly red. We'll have to see how that goes, and hopefully it turns around and it goes green, but we'll see. I'm not that optimistic, guys. I just don't see it happening. There is some good news happening though. And that is CZ from Binance just announced that he bought $100 million worth of Bitcoin for their trust fund that they are starting. So that's a huge buyer. I also think Michael Saylor has stepped in. I wouldn't be one bit surprised. I think he may have. It might be in the news, but that's not confirmed. I can't confirm that. But I think I heard someone say that in looking through my tweets. Confirm that for yourself, though. Wouldn't surprise me one bit if he steps in. Michael Saylor's just been buying like crazy. So two big buyers are stepping in, and that could help buoy up the price. We'll see what's going on with the ETF flows, though. I know last week was a massive outflow of ETFs, and like I said, I don't believe the ETF buyers are like crypto natives. I don't believe that they have the conviction. And I really don't think that they understand Bitcoin. But we'll see. Hopefully I'm wrong on that. But let's take a look at gold real quick, guys. Now, I pulled the trigger on gold today, guys. We can see this is the gold chart. And look at that, man. Gold and silver absolutely took a shit. I mean, look at that. It just absolutely fell off a fucking cliff. I mean, we were trading like around $5,600, and it went all the way down to 4,417. And this blue line here is like right around 4,500. That's where the BitMonger stepped in. And I bought about 15 grand worth of gold. I'm expecting it to climb up. We can see it's already up. I'm nearly 300 bucks in profit on each ounce that I bought. So, and That's looking good. Now, I was a little light on my gold. I had a little bit, but not enough. So I stepped in and I bought about 15 grand worth of gold. And I'm really happy about that. I do believe that this is going to continue up as we still have political instability and uncertainty. I don't think that this is just going to turn around and go to hell. I think this will continue to go up. So that's why I stepped in and I bought gold. And let's take a look at Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is having a nice bounce. Like I said, you can see here on the chart, guys. Let me zoom out here. It came down and it perfectly tagged it. This is the Liberation Day, April 7th, right? You can see it tagged it. That was the low on this line. And it came down perfectly and touched it. And that's where I entered my long, guys. Like I said, I still have bids below. But if it comes back down here, I'll probably add to my spot position as well. You know, I know I was ringing the alarm bell yesterday, and I do have a large order down at 58K. And the reason why I have an order there is that's around the 200 weekly moving average on the 200 weekly. And that's generally a place where Bitcoin goes to in a bear market. It's also roughly right around the total average buyer's price of Bitcoin. So historically, it usually dips a little bit below that. So that's why I got an order down there. And I would recommend, well, not financial advice, guys, but I would recommend that you consider that, thinking about putting an order down around the 200 weekly moving average, maybe slightly a little bit below it, because historically Bitcoin has come down and dipped below that number. And generally speaking, when you buy it at those prices, historically when you buy it at those prices, it's a fucking winning move. And you end up being very happy about it. Again, not financial advice. So we can see Bitcoin, you know, after touching that, it's had a nice little bounce. I mean, it's gone from 74.6 roughly, and we're trading at 77.8. So real nice bounce on that. What's that percentage wise? We're looking at about a 4% move, roughly. Almost 5%. So that's a nice little move. 4.5%, 4.67. It's up. Also remember, there's a CME gap over the weekend with this massive dump. Bitcoin before that was trading at like around 84K. So generally speaking, that CME gap gets filled at some point. When it will, I don't know. But that's another area that I would be looking at. If it goes up to that, there's not other great news happening. If it hits that spot, that is where the BitMonger is going to short it. That's not financial advice, but that's just telling you what I'm going to do if it gets back up there. And I will cut my current long trade on Bitcoin. Is also, I got a trailing stop on that right now. If we see any kind of percentage drop, I got a really tight trailing stop on that, 1.5%. So if we get a 1.5% move back down, I'm going to get kicked out of that trade, but I will be in the money. So that's how you guys manage these things. Always use trailing stops just so you can lock in money, because these things are super volatile, and you want to lock in money when you can. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one trade I did. And unfortunately, I only did one trade today. I was sleeping and just really not feeling well. And I was on a long conversation with my brother. So here we have it. I didn't have it marked, but you can see I closed this one out. I made about 141 bucks today. Good day, you know, not the best, but hey man, for sitting in my room in Thailand, I'll take it. That's a nice little chunk of dough, and it goes real far. It buys a lot of noodles in Thailand, guys. And that pays for roughly almost 1 month of my rent of this bungalow on one single trade. Ain't it lovely? All right. Well, let's keep an eye on the markets. Be nimble, guys. Have dry powder. Let's look at, hopefully you guys are making wise choices, making good moves, and don't be a bag hodler, guys. I'm telling you, if you're on your little shitcoins, you know, I know guys that hold shitcoin bags for cycles now, and I just don't understand that. you know, it's like, why would you do that? Don't marry these coins, guys. The only thing that I'm married to, I won't even say I'm married to Bitcoin, but that's the only thing that I really am a true believer in. Although I do like Solana a lot. I do think it's fantastic tech, but these things change quickly. New competitors come up. Bitcoin's the big king daddy, though. If you're going to hold any coin, if you have a long-term time frame, that's Bitcoin. Everything else, I would be a little weary of, and if things are looking like they're going to go on a downtrend, you might want to shave them. I would say Bitcoin, Solana, and I'm going out on a limb there saying Solana. Let's take a quick look at the Solana chart too, guys. So you can see these levels that I marked off before, and these are critical levels. And currently we're trading at 102. We can see that I had marked these off. This one was 119. We clearly broke that. We broke the 110. 100 level is a psychological level. Whenever you have big round numbers like that, they're psychological numbers, so they're always good. The next one was 93. And then here at 77 is another big one. And if Solana gets down into this area, $75 to $77, I would be backing up the truck and buying it deeply. Then we have the next level here is like around $57, and then 51 is the other one here. Now, if it gets into these regions, guys, these last three, I think it would be a screaming buy. But that's just my opinion. I do think Solana will be the chain. I mean, if you look at what everything's being tokenized on and what they are moving towards, it's going to need to have quick speed. It's going to need to have finality. I don't think Ethereum can do it. Solana is the clear winner on this one, guys. Anyways, that's just my opinion. Would love to hear what you guys' thoughts are in the comment section. Hope you're all doing well, and Monger on.